The next drill that I want to demonstrate, have Andy demonstrate for you, is the speed drill. It's a great drill to work on your pitcher's speed. We have a lot of young girls who slow their arm down or push the ball or aim. This is a great drill to try to get them away from doing that. And this is something you can add in the middle of your workout, or you can do it at the end of your workout, okay? So what's going to happen is we have a person off to the side. They have a bucket of balls, about 20 or 25, and she's just going to feed Andy, and Andy's going to do the walkthrough, throwing them as hard as she can, and her catcher's going to drop the ball. You can do it that way, or you can do it another way where you just have 2 balls, and she plays 2-ball catch with her catcher. She throws one, the catcher catches it, throws back, and you can do that for time. So you can do that in a 6-minute format: a minute throwing, a minute break, a minute throwing, a minute break, a minute throwing, and you're finished. We're going to do the one where you feed the balls. I think it's a little bit more difficult, and Andy's really pumped to do this right now. So here we go. So you want to make sure your pitcher does this quickly. The whole purpose of the goal is quick, 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 quick. But you don't want her to sacrifice the mechanics as she's trying to do this drill, meaning you don't want her to, go too quickly in the beginning of her pitch or shorten up her stride or anything like that. Good. Kind of smooths out the arm and gets the whip going in her pitch, and Annie's doing a great job at this now. She's getting loose. A little bit more through with your follow through. You're lifting. You're losing speed. Here we go. There we go. Good correction. Good. How's the speed? Good, Andy. Good, good, good. Good. Keep really enforcing that your pitcher drives as close as she can to her catcher. Drive off the mound towards your catcher. Good. That was better. You're doing good. Take a breath. Good. Okay. Last one. Good. Excellent. How was that, Andy? Good. It's a good stamina drill for your pitchers as well, to get them in good shape too. So you can do as many as you feel your pitcher can handle without sacrificing mechanics. So I say 20, 25 is good. The better she gets, the more you can add on. Okay, I want to go back and do some troubleshooting after we've seen Andy throw in the speed drill and just in general, and then after that I'm going to talk about the full motion and putting it all together. So if you have pitchers that do one of these 3 things, here are ways to fix it. One thing that you see a lot with pitchers is they don't get their arm circle in the right position, meaning you don't see them getting their arm tight by their ear, reaching tall at the top, off the ear back here, and getting nice and tight by the body. If you have a pitcher who doesn't have a good arm circle, 2 things you can do for them. One, you can have them, before they pitch in their workout, work on pointing towards their catcher, and then get set, whether they're doing on the mound or doing their walkthrough, and force their arm to get back in that position. So it's just kind of a reminder, point right through the middle, get set right back through the middle, okay? Also, if they get out away from the body, which you'll see a lot, then you can have them go up against a wall, and it'll force them, and you can do like the walkthrough drill or any of these short drills sideways or all the way around against the wall, and it forces them to get that arm nice and tight. Okay, one of the most important components of pitching is having a nice full arm circle, not having too much bend in the elbow, and not getting away from the body. That will really kill speed. So I am a stickler for having good mechanics, and I think all these little things that you work on, arm circle, wrist snap, short snap, follow through, leg drive, weight shift, using the front side for your resistance. If you really clean those up, because there's a lot of young pitchers that are sloppy in one or many of those areas, you will gain a lot of speed, along with doing some long toss and some speed drills, okay? So the other thing that you'll see a lot with young pitchers, besides having short stride and not using the legs, is they'll be bent at the waist. So one way you can work on that is with a little pole, a little wooden pole, or you can use your arm. And as the pitcher is throwing, I will demonstrate with one of our pitchers. You stand slightly in front of them on their glove arm. So if it's a righty, I'll be to the left of them. and they are going to not want to hit your hand or the pole with their forehead, and it keeps them standing up. So let me have one of the pitchers demonstrate that for you. Good. You don't have to hit her with your hand. It's just a reminder that she needs to not let her head lead in her pitch. This front toe and this front leg is what's going to lead towards the catcher, not her upper body. I want to put together the whole entire motion right now. You don't ever want to have your pitchers watch somebody on TV and try to, copy exactly what the form looks like. Each pitcher is going to show basic mechanics a little differently, so you have to be sensitive to your pitcher and really be understanding of what their bodies can and can't do. So studying them is good. Videotaping your young pitchers is very good to give you feedback and for them to visually see what it is they are doing well and not doing well, or taking pictures. So I want to talk about putting the whole mechanics together. I'm going to talk a little bit at length right now about that. We're going to talk about the pre-pitch motion, and then I'm going to show you our 3 pitchers and the 3 ways that they do that a little differently. And then we're going to talk a little bit more specifically about practice, how to motivate young pitchers and pitchers with short attention spans, which you'll see a lot in young pitchers. And then we'll finish up with the changeup. Okay, so what I want to do right now is talk about the general mechanics of pitching. When talking about putting the whole mechanics together, we're going to really put together all these drills that we've already showed you today. So here's my mound. I have my power line drawn on my mound, which I draw in practice or in the games. Okay, I want to talk about, first of all, footwork on the mound. We have our mound here. In most leagues, you have to have both your feet on the mound, so we're going to talk as if you have to do that. You want to have your feet about shoulders distance apart, and you want your pitcher to be in a nice, comfortable stance and relaxed. You don't want her feet to be too far apart or too close together. Okay? You want to have some type of a weight shift, and you want to get some momentum started with your arms. So, like I said, each pitcher may look a little different as they're doing this. I'm just going to show you some general ideas, and you're going to notice with the 3 of the pitchers we have here, they all do something a little bit different. Okay? What I don't like to see are pitchers that are stiff or that are tight and like to come together real high and real uncomfortably. If they're going to do that, I like to see at least looseness in the arm. That's really important because looseness creates a better whip, which creates more speed in the arm and in the pitch. So we're here. As we're nice and relaxed on the mound, I like to see them, gripping their ball in the 4-seam rotation, arms to the side. Sometimes the glove comes in front and the back toe is up. We're going to do some type of a weight shift. So you'd shift your weight from this front leg onto this back leg and present. In the rule book, you have to present 1 to 3 seconds as a pitcher. So you want to see some kind of presentation in the front, whether it be here, 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 as long as they're loose and relaxed in their bicep. Okay. The other thing I like to see at the beginning of the pitch is a little bit of a turn at the heel or a slide of the foot. It helps generate some momentum as we're going into our pitch. So you might see something like this right onto the power line. From here, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can do a double arm swing. You can do a single arm swing. You may see pitchers come out and around. Some come up. Really, each pitcher is different. One great fundamental technique would just be set, swing, and from here then we're going to drive our arms out, and for young girls I say almost like Frankenstein, arms are out in front, knees up, and then we're going to pivot and get into the X position. Okay, and a lot of young girls, you'll see they can't even get their gloves in their hands in this even position on this power line. So you may want them, without even throwing the ball, to just set and hold in the middle and see what they do. You want to have them up on this back toe and pivoted all the way open with their hips. Arms are even, and from this point on we're going to snap, drag, turn, and finish in a good defensive position. So I want to demonstrate one more time from a different angle exactly what it looks like. We're going to approach the mound. We're nice and relaxed. Some pitchers like to tuck their hand behind or to the side. Weights forward. They're going to have a little bit of a swing, a weight shift, toes up. You may want to drag it over or just pivot. Then we're going to drive into this knee, arms to the side or arms equal, or whichever way you're most comfortable, as long as you're not twisting the upper body. Try to keep your shoulders towards your catcher. Then we're going to push out, arms forward, get into the X. Glove and arm with the ball even. Nice and tight snap, drag,